Today's video is about something that I've been waiting to tell for a little bit now, and I haven't for a couple reasons. One being, I had to wait until my YouTube channel was in a safe state, I guess you could say. And then the other reason is I had to wait until I was in my new place because, this person that I'm about to talk about today is a little bit on the crazy side, and I didn't want to get hurt. So, yeah, that being the intro, let's just get into this, because, yeah. So I've told a lot of stories on this channel about, crazy exes, you might say, but I don't think any of them compare to the one I'm about to tell you guys today. So buckle up and enjoy the story of my crazy ex-girlfriend. So today's story time all takes place about a year and a half ago, okay? I was dating this girl. We had been dating for about 6 months. And 3 months into our relationship, I started seeing red flags. Now you might ask, what are those red flags? Well, every time I told her I had to do a YouTube video, which is essentially my job, she would get mad at me, like I was distracted by stuff that wasn't important. I remember one time I told her I was going to make a video, and she was like, all you do is sit on your computer and play video games. And I was like, no, I'm making a YouTube video. She's like, yeah, what's the difference? And I was like, well, the difference is one of them is playing a video game, and the other one is editing, creating, and uploading a YouTube video for my audience of 3 million subscribers. And she did not like that one bit. She started yelling at me and told me that, I was wasting my time on shit that wasn't important, and, YouTube would be there forever, and she might not be. She basically threatened to break up with me over me making a video. And needless to say, that's a huge red flag. But for some reason, I ignored it. Now, fast forward, at this point, like I said, we were 6 months into our relationship. I was ignoring many red flags. That one that I just told you about was only one of many. There was a lot leading up to this. At the 6-month point, she was pretty much living at my house at this point. She would never go home. She would basically just sleep and eat and do everything at my house. And I can't lie, there was a part of me that didn't like that at all. I definitely thought that things were moving a little bit too fast. I feel like for only dating 6 months, to be like fully moved into my place was just kind of odd. And it's not like I green lighted this. Like that'd be a different thing. Like if I was like, oh yeah, you can come move in. But she just like slept over a couple nights in a row and then just didn't leave. And I just kind of let it slide because I was being nice. Well, one night we're in bed watching Netflix. I'm about to fall asleep. Like literally I am 1 minute away from falling asleep. My eyes are closing. I am exhausted. I am so tired. And she taps me on the shoulder and she goes, hey, I want to get a bigger house. And immediately, I woke right up. I was like, what? She was like, I want to move into a bigger place. Like, this place is too small for the both of us. And I was like, I love my house. And no, it's not. Real quick, let me just give you guys some context, okay? The house I was living in at the time, that she was also living in, basically, was a 3-bedroom house, 3-story house, with a storage room as well that could be converted to a bedroom if you wanted to. Basically a 4-bedroom, 3 stories, living room, kitchen, everything you could need, basement, garage. And I'm not flexing this, by the way, like, oh, I got such a nice fucking house. Like, I'm not no Elon Musk or fucking Bill Gates, Mr. Luna over here, okay? I'm just saying it was a nice family home, okay? Like, if you wanted to have a couple kids in this house, you could. And for just being me and her, both in our early 20s, like, it was more than enough space. We didn't need a bigger house. So I told her that, and she got really mad at me. And she was like, well, yeah, it might be a 3-bedroom house, but all of the rooms are yours. Like, it's your bedroom that I get a little part of to do my makeup, and your office, and then the other room is a guest room. Like, why can't we turn the guest room into my room or, like, my office? And I'm just sitting there like, yo, what the fuck? I never gave this girl the green light to move in. Now she's trying to fucking revamp one of my rooms into her own. So I nicely tell her, I was like, listen, in the future, if you maybe want to take the guest room and turn it into like your own little spot, maybe we can talk about that. But right this second, like, you're not even moved in here officially. You're just staying here. We've never even had an official conversation about you actually living here. You've just been crashing here for the last like month or two. So how about we just like take a step back for a second, work out what we're actually doing here, and then we can talk about house size and room and all that. And I don't think what I said was that bad. I really don't think anything I said in that sentence, because that's pretty much exactly how I said it, was very offensive at all. I felt like it was pretty chill and, not very offensive. But she fucking freaked out. She starts screaming at me. She's like, I can't believe this. Like, do you even want me? Do you even want to be with me? Like, I thought that this was our place, not just yours. Like, I can't fucking believe you. And then she stood up, walked over to my bedroom door, opened it, and before walking out, picks up my dirty clothes hamper by the door and throws it at me and hits me in the fucking head. Now, that's not fucking cool. That's not okay in any shape or form. And keep in mind, this hamper / dirty clothes pile bin thing weighed a fuck ton and was a solid basket that weighed like 10 or 20 pounds. So getting hit in the fucking head with that didn't feel good. So I freaked out. I jumped up out of bed. I followed her out of my room. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? You just threw that at my head? Like, this is how you resolve a disagreement? You throw shit at people? Is that really the type of person you are? And she was like, type of person I am, acting like you're not the most selfish person in the world. And I was like, all right, you know what? Get out of my house. Fucking now. Because it's mine. Not yours, not ours. Mine. I pay the rent. I pay the utilities. I pay for everything. You don't pay for shit. You don't work. Therefore, you have no money to contribute to this house, and my name is on everything, making it mine. Mine, mine, mine. So, not yours, get the fuck out. And yeah, maybe that was a little bit mean, but you know what? She warranted that response when she threw a fucking 20-pound basket at my head. So she didn't like this one bit. And she was like, well, how the fuck am I supposed to get home? I can't afford an Uber. I don't even have the app on my phone. I don't have my house key. I can't unlock my door. I'll be outside all night in the dark. Like, what if something happens to me? And I was like, you know what? Fine. You can sleep on the couch in the living room, but as soon as 6 o'clock rolls around, because that was the time our parents would get up for work, I was like, you're going back to that house, and you're staying there from now on, not here. And she was like, are you breaking up with me? And I was like, I don't know, but just stay out here. I don't want to get stuff thrown at my head anymore. She's like, I won't. I'm sorry. I'm like, nope, stay out here. And I went back into my room, I closed the door, and I locked it. And the rest of that night, we didn't talk. I went to sleep. Very angry. I did not have a good sleep. And so did she. So I thought. But a few hours later, I woke up, and at this point, it was like 7 in the morning, and I went out in the living room to check to see if she was still there, and she was gone. And I'm like, okay, she must have just like slept a few hours, and then went to her parents like I requested. And at this point, I was already awake, even though it was really early, and I could probably go back to sleep. I just had too much on my mind. So I decided, you know what, why not jump on my computer and get a video done early today. I'll maybe make a couple. Maybe I'll make 2 or 3, and I'll have them ready for the upcoming week. So I went in my office room, and when I walked in, I realized something. My computer was left on all night. My dumbass didn't have that setting on where after like a couple hours, it would go into sleep mode by itself. It just stays on all the time unless I manually put it in sleep mode or shut it off. And my dumbass forgot to do that. So it was on all night. I hate doing that for a lot of reasons. 1, people can just get on your computer that aren't you. 2, it's on all night. So, I worry about like overheating or something. I don't know. It's probably not the worst thing in the world, but I don't like it. But I didn't think much of it. I just jumped on my computer and kind of went to start making a video. And I did. I made 2 videos. I recorded them, edited them, and then it was time to upload them. So I open up YouTube, and I realized something when I open up YouTube. My channel's signed out. And I'm like, why is my channel signed out? Because it only signs out if the password gets changed usually. So I kind of start freaking out a little bit inside, right? I'm like, oh shit, did something happen? Like, did she do something? And I go to sign in. Sure enough, it says your password was changed 2 hours ago. And I'm like, no fucking way. So I immediately pull up in my phone and try and do like the reset thing, like the 2-step reset. And 2-step verification is no longer on my channel. So I immediately call my girlfriend, right? And she answers, and she's like, hello? And I was like, all right. So I just tried to log into my YouTube channel, and it says my password was changed 2 hours ago, and I left my computer on all night, so you were the only person with access to it. So, like, I'm just going to ask once, did you do something? And this motherfucker, this is how evil this woman was. She starts laughing. Like a fucking supervillain. Starts, like, maniacally laughing. And she goes, yeah, I may have had something to do with that. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? She was like, listen, I'm not going to keep it from you, but I just want to have a little talk about our relationship and our future and see if you're really breaking up with me or not, because last night you didn't sound so sure. And after that conversation, maybe you can have it back. Now, at this point, I started having a full-blown, like, panic attack because this crazy girl is holding my life's work and everything that matters to me hostage, essentially. My fucking YouTube channel. That's how crazy she was. Like, she could have taken money out of my PayPal. I had my fucking PayPal signed in on that computer, my bank. Like, she could have stolen money. She could have done anything. But she knew how close I held that YouTube channel to my heart. So she stole it. And I was like, okay, well, what do you want? Like, in return, what can I do? She's like, I just told you. I want to come over. I want to talk to you about our relationship and the future of it, see if you're breaking up with me or not. And after that conversation, maybe I'll give it back to you. And I was like, are you blackmailing me, saying that, like, I have to stay with you or else I won't get it back? Like, that's all I'm hearing right now. She's like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I just said I want to have a conversation. I want to know if you're breaking up with me or not. And I want to do it in person. And after that, maybe you'll get it back. And I was like, I don't like this maybe shit. Like, that's everything I worked for. That's not going to happen. Like, you're giving it back to me. She was like, I'm the one with the password. You're not. So you're not in the position to make demands. And it literally felt like I was, like, fucking debating with a villain. It was insane. And I was just like, how did you even do this? Like, what? How? Like, I have two-step on. Like, you took it off. You need my phone for that. Like, how did you do this? Because I don't know if you guys remember, but earlier I said that when I went to sleep and she was in the living room, I locked my bedroom door and my phone was in the bedroom with me. And to change YouTube channel settings, you need that phone. Like, you need the two-step because it's going to ask you for a code before you change settings. And that phone was in the bedroom with me, locked behind that door with me while I was sleeping. So what this motherfucker did is she grabbed a toothpick and she fucking opened my bedroom door with it. She basically fucking picked the lock. I had those bedroom doors where you can, like, lock it with a button, and to undo the lock from the other side, you have to, like, stick a little thing through a hole. I'll put a photo on the screen so you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, while I was sleeping, she silently unlocked my door, tiptoed in, took my fucking phone, went into my office, got on my YouTube channel, went into the settings, used my two-step to change the password and remove the two-step, and it was no longer on there, so she didn't need it anymore. She then tiptoed back into my room, placed my phone right next to my head where it was, where I left it, locked my bedroom door and closed it behind her, and went back into the office, put my computer back on the desktop screen, and then went in the living room and chilled for a bit before going home. And when I found all of this out, I was in fucking disbelief because I did not think she was that smart when it came to, like, YouTube and, like, kind of tech savvy shit like that. I thought she only used her iPhone. I didn't know she even knew how to use a computer, so it blew my mind that she did all of this and got away with it. So yeah, when she told me that that's what she did, how intricate and how evil it was, I literally just chuckled. I was like, huh, wow. And she was like, what? And I was like, I just didn't think that you were so fucking evil. And she was like, oh, you're calling me evil after what you said to me last night. And I was like, what did I say that warranted any of this? You literally threw a bin at my head and then took away my channel that's worth everything to me. You really want to sit here and say I'm the bad one? And she was like, whatever, if you want to talk, call me back. And she hangs up on me. So I call her back immediately. And I was like, all right, come over. And she was like, when? I was like, now. She goes, okay. So 20 minutes later, she shows up to my house. She walks in. And I had to put on the nicest poker face ever. Like, I so badly wanted to tell her to just go fuck herself to her face and then tell her to leave my house again and just block her on everything. But I couldn't because she had my channel, so I just couldn't do that. So I had to be nice to her. She walked in my house. We both sat down on the couch. And I put on the best bullshit face ever. And I just fucking said the most bullshit apology ever. It went a little something like this. I was like, listen. You know, I was thinking, and you're right, like what I said last night, it was kind of fucked up. You know, this house is as much as yours as it is mine. And, you know, like, I really care about you and what we have together, and I don't want to lose that over such a stupid argument. So I just want to say I'm sorry, and I hope you're willing to forgive me. And immediately, a fucking tear runs down her face. And she was like, that's all I wanted to hear. And she fucking gives me this huge hug. And she's like, here. And she pulls open her notes, and she shows me the fucking login for my YouTube channel, like, immediately. And she made the password, actually, I can't tell you what my old password was. I'm sorry. Didn't really think before I spoke there. But she made the password something really, really ridiculous. And I was like, that's crazy. And she was like, yeah, well, you know, it had to be complex. And I was like, yeah. So after this, I ran upstairs. I reset my YouTube password to something I know and that she doesn't. I put two-step back on. I checked all of my settings on my YouTube channel to make sure she didn't add any other devices, like, like a two-step for her phone maybe, or like a two-step for her email. I made sure that none of her info was attached to my YouTube channel at all. I made sure it was all mine, and I made sure to completely lock it down and make sure she could never access it again. And as soon as I did that, I checked every other social media and my bank and my PayPal again, just, had to be safe. And after I did that and realized that everything was safe and all my accounts were good and my YouTube was back in safe hands, I locked my computer. And she was watching me do this, by the way. Like, she was right there in the hallway, like in the doorway, watching me do this. And I locked my computer, I looked over at her, and I said, "We're done, get the fuck out." And I wish you could see the look on her face, the just look of, like, defeat, because she knew that she got outplayed. And I was like, "Get out." And she goes, "What do you mean? Like, what about everything we just talked about? Like, you apologized? Like, I thought you were being serious. Like, I thought you wanted to be with me." And I was like, "Are you kidding? No, I just stooped to your level. I wouldn't even call it your level because I didn't steal anything from you like you did to me, but I stooped close to it, and I got what I needed back, what was rightfully mine. Now that I have it back, get out of my house." And she was like, "I can't believe you're acting like this." And she starts, like, tearing up. And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "We're in our 20s. Like, how are we acting like this right now?" And I was like, "Don't say we. It's just you." I just wanted her to leave so bad. I just wanted her to turn around, walk out my front door, and I want to never see her again. And she goes, "Can we just talk?" And I was like, "No, leave now. I won't ask again. If you're not out of here in the next 10 seconds, I'm calling the cops." And she gets the angriest look on her face. And she turns around, and she walks into my bedroom, which is not where the exit is. And she comes back in the hallway holding my fucking 20-pound basket of clothes, my fucking hamper, dirty clothes pile, and she winds up to throw it at me again. And I literally said it out loud. I was like, "We're not doing this again. Don't fucking do it." And she throws it at me. And I was not letting this shit happen again. I fucking caught it. And I threw it to the side, and I got up and I screamed. I was like, "Get the fuck out of my house now!" And she listened. She turned around and she stormed out of my front door. And I literally had my phone in my hand ready to dial 911 because I really thought that that wouldn't be the end of her. And yeah, I just remember sitting there on my couch after she left for a good hour, just listening to music on the speakers, looking up at the ceiling, like trying to comprehend what the fuck it was that just happened, because I really couldn't. Like, this girl, don't get me wrong, she showed a few red flags throughout our relationship that weren't good, but nothing to this degree. I could not believe the absolute level of manipulation that, like, happened and what she did to try and get to me. I remember after this, I called up my friend Christian, and he came over, and we just talked for like a good hour about what happened, because I was just so, like, shaken up by it. And he didn't even believe me at first, because he knew her, and he knew that she could be a little, clingy sometimes, but never to this degree of, like, stealing something that mattered to me and holding it against me. But yeah, after I told him that she really is that crazy, he was like, "Dude, I'm so sorry you had to go through that." And he fucking gave me a hug. And it was just truly a ridiculous, ridiculous time. And I remember I didn't tell the story because I wanted to. I wanted to so badly just get on my computer and tell that story that day. But I didn't want to because she knew where I lived. And if she was crazy enough to do all of this and throw stuff at me and take my channel and threaten me with it, like, who knows what else she could have done. So I waited, and I waited, and I waited until I was in my new spot, and until it was safe to tell. And it is. So here I am telling you. But yeah, guys, I think this is one of the craziest stories I have. Honestly, like, I was thinking about it before I told it, and I was like, that probably is one of the craziest stories I'll ever tell on this channel. So please leave a like for that. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Moral of the story is, don't move too fast in your relationships. Always make sure that you know who you're dating before you date them. Get to know them first. Don't rush into stuff like I did. Always establish your boundaries, too, early on in the relationship. Don't let somebody walk all over you, because that's definitely what I did, and I regret that. But yeah, guys, definitely a crazy one. I hope you enjoyed this story time. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below, and subscribe if you're new. And I really hope my ex-girlfriend isn't watching this. Peace. Till the end, till I'm face down. I be fully loaded, I be whipping for
be fully loaded up.